You guys already know the drill. If you see me wearing this red shirt, you already know we'll talk about something that is very close to my heart. And I'm not talking about this hat. I'm talking about this hat. In today's video, we'll talk about how you can lose weight without exercising. What's up, good people? Welcome back to Wardrobe Chronicles. In case you're new here, I am David Ochola. This is Wardrobe Chronicles. On this channel, we talk about men's lifestyle, we talk about fashion, we talk about fitness, and all things self-improvement. If you're into that kind of stuff, join the family and hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any of the weekly videos I post right here on Sundays at 10 a.m. East African time. That said, let's jump into this weighty matter. The first tip when it comes to losing weight is counting your calories and reducing your calories for that matter. If you're unfamiliar to what calories are, it is basically the unit of measurement of energy that comes from food. Energy that, if not burnt, is now turned into fat, yeah? Or muscle, depending on whatever it is that you're eating. So what do you want to do about it? If you're in a place where you feel like you are slightly overweight, you want to cut on the amount of calories that you're eating. And there's an app called MyFitnessPal that you can check out if at all you want to monitor your calories very specifically. But I'd say if you're not interested in the calorie count and all that, just basically reduce your portions. So people don't know this, but by slightly reducing your calories, you can actually reduce your weight, yeah? Or the amount of food that you eat, you can slightly reduce your weight. So here's how it works. Like say, for example, if I am overweight and I feel as though I am eating a little too much, here's what you can do. You can say, if you do 3 servings, do 2.5 on that day, and then do 2.5 tomorrow, and keep doing that. The thing is, your body kind of works with neurotransmitters. So if you tell your body, I have to eat 3 plates of food for me to be full, that is what it is used to. But what you want to do is reprogram your body through the neurotransmitters. Cut it down to 2.5. Then after you get used to it, you'll actually realize you're working well with 2.5. Then cut it to 2 plates. Then cut it to 1.5, or up until you're around the ideal weight that you want to be at, if that makes sense. I'm not saying go hungry, I'm not saying starve. Just cut down on the amount of food you're eating and you will see a huge change over time, because you also didn't grow fat over 1 week or over 2 weeks. It was something that happened over time, and that's the strategy we're going to use for you to lose weight. The second tip that is very important when it comes to losing weight, and as fast as possible, is generally increase amount of activity, yeah? So as the title suggests, I'm not saying that you should exercise. You can if you want to, but if you are not in a position to, what you want to do is increase the amount of activity that you do during the day, yeah? So for example, if you go to work and you drive to work, park your car a little further than where you're going, or further than your office, so that you can walk to the office. Instead of taking the elevator, take the staircase. It will help. These small activities end up burning the calories that you are eating. And if the amount of activity that you take part in during the day is not huge enough to put you on a caloric deficit, that means you're burning a little more than you're eating, then you'll end up gaining weight. So what do you want to do to lose weight? You want to do exactly the reverse. Make sure you're on a caloric deficit, or you're eating less than you're burning, if that makes sense. That will help you lose weight over time. The third tip, and this one is going to be a bit difficult, but this will be super helpful, yeah? So you want to cut down on your snacking. Like say, for example, many of us, if you're working, if you're in school, you'll find that you have a lot of snacks in between meals, and that's not a bad thing, but you realize even the snacks that we settle for are high in calories. Yeah, so for example, you'll find someone snacking on biscuits, someone snacking on high calorie foods like crisps, like chips and stuff like that. What you want to do is find alternatives to the snacks that you have. Like say, for example, if you're a sweet tooth, you want to settle for sweet fruits, yeah, that have less calories. That will go a long way in helping you cut on the weight that you are really looking forward to cutting on, if that makes sense. Another tip that I would like to attach to this one is to eat whole foods, yeah, as opposed to eating highly processed foods. If you have ever checked the content in your food, for highly processed foods, you usually have a lot of calories as compared to whole foods which are less processed. That means you have a lot more than you need in highly processed foods as opposed to whole foods. So what are whole foods? Whole foods are foods that have barely been processed, or if at all they've been processed, it's very minimal. Like, say for example, that means you can cook your own food as opposed to biscuits, for example, which are usually highly processed before they can even be baked for you to even eat them. Yeah, try as much as possible to cook your own food, and even when you go and eat out, make sure the kind of foods that you're picking are whole foods as opposed to processed foods, because they're high in calories. Another secret that people don't know is your body takes a lot more energy burning whole foods than already processed foods, because the processed foods already broken down so much. That means your body is using a lot more energy to burn those calories. It means it's going to help you be on a caloric deficit, if that makes sense. So what you want to do is just settle for whole foods. If you can cut on the snacks completely, even the better. Cut down on that and you will see the change that you're looking forward to. And the last tip is the easiest tip. I am hoping this is the easiest tip for you guys, and that is just have enough sleep. Many people in our 25/8 society, and I say 25/8, not 24/7, because we are thoroughly working overtime, yeah? In this new age where things are going so quickly, we barely have time to rest, even enough time to rest. So you'll find that many people operate with 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep, which is barely sufficient, especially if you're someone who's health conscious. So there was a study done on a group of people here, and a group of those people slept for 4 hours. The other group of people slept for 10 hours. Amongst the people who slept for 4 hours, they realized the enzyme, or the neurotransmitting enzyme that was responsible for hunger, was so much higher than in these people who are sleeping up to 10 hours. And the reverse was true. For them, the enzyme that kind of told them they were full was higher than in these other people. So what does that tell you? It doesn't mean you should sleep for 10 hours. I know that's a bit too extreme, but the more hours you can get, the more hours you can fix in, the better your body will behave when it comes to hunger and how hungry you feel. So what you want to do is just make sure you're sleeping enough. At least 7-8 hours a day is good enough for you to go, and that way you will cut on the cravings that you usually get during the day. And those are my top tips when it comes to reducing or cutting down on your weight without exercising, so to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like down below. I'd really appreciate it. Please subscribe and join the family. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I am hoping we can get there as soon as possible so that we can get these videos out to more and more people. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next one.